YouTube? It's time for another review of my predictions for the 2021 season. Now that it's over, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers finished up 11-2. Let's talk about some exciting news about them real quick. They just found out that Grayson McCall's coming back. Coastal Carolina's in business. The Chanticleer is going right back to the top, and next year should be a great year. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying, are they losing all their super seniors and stuff? It don't matter. I mean, it does matter. Those are some great players they lost. But guess what? Coastal's going to reload, and it's going to be a great year. Coastal is going to be a real threat for the Sun Belt title. They're coming for App State. But guess what? There's one more thing about that. This is 2021, and this is a review video. 2022 predictions will come out later. But I'm just going ahead to tell you, McCall's coming back. Big things in Conway are coming to my alma mater. Anyway, now it's time to look at what I said. What happened first? Coastal played Citadel. I predicted Coastal win. I think everyone did. Coastal won. Then Kansas came to Conway. Big game. And Coastal won. 3-0 against the Big 12's Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas is not good. I'm not saying they are. But 3-0 against a Power 5 team, that's pretty good. Especially when two of them were in Lawrence. And then we had Coastal Carolina versus Buffalo. This was exactly like I called it. I said Coastal win a tight one. It was at Buffalo, and it was very tight. I think it was in 3 or 4 points. It was tight, but Coastal won. Then UMass came to town. I actually had season tickets this year, and this was the first game I attended. That's pretty sad of me, but it wasn't because I didn't want to. It was a lot of outside circumstance kept me from Brooks Stadium this year. Coastal rolled UMass. I left in the start of the third quarter. It was 50-something to 0 at that point, or 3 maybe. Then UL Monroe played Coastal. I went to that as well. Coastal rolled them. I mean, that was just brutal. Left at halftime. It was even worse than the previous game with UMass. Coastal's won again. I'm correct all the way up to this point. Then Arkansas State, Coastal just put up blitzkrieg, however you want to call it, on Arkansas State and just destroyed Arkansas State. It was just beautiful on TV. It was on ESPNU, I think, on a Wednesday or Thursday night, maybe even a Tuesday. But Coastal rolled. Perfect so far my predictions. App State, I said App State would win. That's exactly what happened. I didn't want to see it, and Coastal just, they kind of let them just throw all over them. I mean, those App State receivers were wide open all night long. It was sad, but it was like on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. And, I mean, playing games like that's how you lose. I mean, Coastal was highly ranked at this point, mid-ranked, maybe 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there. But they got upset at App State on a weekday. What? But I said it happened, and it did happen. And App State won the SEC East, the Sun Belt East, because of that. Then Troy came to town, and Coastal won. It was a good win. Troy and South Carolina and Coastal played Troy, and they both beat Troy. Troy fired their head coach. Speaking of head coaches, Georgia Southern hired Clay Helton out of USC. That could be a big hire in the Sun Belt. I mean, a lot of people don't like Clay Helton because he didn't do a good job at USC, but guess what? He was hired at USC. You had that job, you're a good coach. Georgia Southern could be, they were a mess too, Georgia Southern. I haven't even got their game on here yet. It's actually, well, I'll go ahead and move there. Coastal beat Georgia Southern. I said they would, so we're rocking and rolling right on. It was at Georgia Southern. I think Coastal won like 27-0. That was a real bad storm there. It really did rain all the game that time. But Georgia Southern was a mess. They had players riding on top of the school bus to games. Then we had Georgia State. I went to that game as well. Georgia State actually came to Conway and beat Coastal. It was a shocking win, but it wasn't really. If you watch Georgia State, they almost beat Louisiana, the best team in the Sun Belt. They almost beat Auburn. I mean, they should have beat Auburn. Auburn scored 2 touchdowns. They were down in the final minute of the game. They scored because the referees helped them out, and that's why that muff punt came back on them. But the referees helped him out, and then the Georgia State quarterback threw a pick six the next play, so that Auburn ended up winning by 2 scores, but they should have lost. But Georgia State did beat Coastal. That's the only game I missed all season long on the Coastal schedule, so I wish they would have won that game. I mean, it's unfortunate, but Coastal already lost to App State, so they weren't going to win this Sun Belt East anyway. And then Texas State and South Alabama rounded out the year. I went to the Texas State game. Texas State, I was impressed with them actually. They ran a draw instead of a Hail Mary from the 50 or so as time expired in the second quarter and scored. It was amazing. I never seen a draw play work, and it worked right from my eyes. But Coastal did win the game. McCall actually, I think he came out for some time. He missed some time from an injury against Troy. And I think, Georgia Southern, Bryce had to come in and won the game for him. But irregardless, the Texas State game, too, he missed a drive or two, I think. And then South Alabama, that was a really good game. Jake Bentley, former Gamecock quarterback, threw a bunch of interceptions, and Coastal was able to beat South Alabama, keep them from bowl eligibility. And then Coastal went to a bowl and beat the MAC champions. So you know what that means? Coastal would have won the MAC. I don't know about all that. I think they would have, though. The MAC was pretty bad this year. They did beat Northern Illinois. It was a really good game. Really, really good game. And Coastal won their first bowl ever, the Cure Bowl. I think it was 48-45. And it was just amazing. In Orlando, Coastal was able to win that bowl. And I'm very excited for 2022. McCall's coming back. Chadwell's coming back. It'll be a great year in Conway.